What are some things you think that the offense needs to improve on? Passing. What are the conversations like with Jalen during a game like this, where maybe the passing game isn't everything you want it to be?
Not too much conversation, honestly. I don't know.
So reports are coming out of Philly that AJ Brown isn't too happy with the passing game in Philly, despite them sitting at 11-2 and in first place in the NFC East right now. Even their injured star defensive end Brandon Graham has came out speaking on the quote-unquote situation between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts right now in Philly in the passing situation.
Accountable, and I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he noticed. I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying, and I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he responds to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed, and I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business, and that's what we gotta do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? But we need to let personal stuff go and let's get right for this game, because, man, it's like a lot of stuff, most of the time it's just a conversation that just need to be had, but the person with the problem gotta want to talk to the person other than others. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Which he has since then came back and apologized or tried to take back his comments, but we know it's an atmosphere now, and it's kind of creating tension in Philly. It shouldn't be there right now, if you ask me. Currently, the Eagles have won 9 games in a row, and the last thing you would think that would be being reported from Philadelphia locker room is that AJ Brown's unhappy with the passing game. But we have this video here that came out after the Panthers game this past week.
What are some things you think that the offense needs to improve on? Passing. What are the conversations like with Jalen during a game like this, where maybe the passing game isn't everything you want it to be?
Not too much conversation, honestly. I don't know.
So the sports enthusiast in me got to thinking after these reports came out. I was thinking to myself, am I the only person that remembered that Jalen Hurts was benched in the 2018 National Championship game at Alabama due to his passing issues? And it led me down a rabbit hole to go and look up the statistics that Jalen Hurts had put up passing through his career at Alabama, Oklahoma, and now in Philly. And let's just say Jalen Hurts has always had issues passing the football. So let's take a trip down memory lane. If you remember correctly, in 2018, Alabama was in the national championship facing the Georgia Bulldogs. Isn't that like a regular occurrence? But we had a game where Jalen Hurts was in his sophomore year, starting quarterback at Alabama. And the Bulldogs are leading Alabama 13-0 at halftime. I mean, Alabama struggling. It's like they can't get anything going in the passing game. Of course, Jalen Hurts has always been phenomenal with his feet on the running game, using his legs. He was definitely having a great game running, but they could not get anything going passing, to where it even led Nick Saban to saying this at halftime.
Under 100 yards offensively, Nick. What do you have to do to change it?
Well, we got to do something. I mean, we just can't move the ball effectively. We haven't been able to throw it effectively at all. So, and I don't think it's just all the quarterback. I think it's the whole group. We got to get open. We got to protect better. And
So after halftime, Nick Saban makes the gutsiest call of all time, if you ask me, and goes with backup quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, which was a crazy decision at that time. I remember looking at this game and thinking, what is going on here? And if Alabama loses, they're going to question Saban for this decision forever. Sitting the starting quarterback that's been the starter all season has gotten him to the national championship for the backup. If this doesn't work, people are going to be questioning it forever. But guess what, guys? Alabama came back to win that game in OT. And that was the last time we seen Jalen Hurts play quarterback for the University of Alabama. He would then go on to join up with Lincoln Riley the year after Baker Mayfield moves on to the NFL and was the #1 pick in the draft with the Cleveland Browns.
18 NFL draft. The Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma.
after winning the Heisman at Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. Jalen Hurts goes to Oklahoma and teams up with Lincoln Riley, where I must say he balls out. When I look at the numbers that Jalen Hurts puts up at Oklahoma, they are great. I mean, in comparison to the numbers he was putting up at Alabama passing, oh yeah, this was great. At Alabama, Jalen Hurts, let me go and look. Let's look at this. If we pull up Jalen Hurts stats at Alabama, of which he was the quarterback there for the 2016 season and the 2017 season. The 2016 season at Alabama, Jalen Hurts went 240 passing completions out of 382 attempts. He threw for 2,780 yards, in which he had 10 games in which he threw for under 200 yards. 10 games. He honestly had a decent ratio in touchdowns to interceptions. He threw 23 touchdowns to only 9 interceptions, which is pretty good. He ran the ball 191 times for 954 yards, almost 1,000 yards rushing for 13 TDs. So, like I said, it's not bad, but when you take in 10 games that he threw for under 200 yards, it's showing us that Nick Saban is trusting his legs more than his arm. So we go into the 2017 season, which would culminate into them ending up in the national championship in the 2018 national championship game. That season, Jalen Hurts kind of regressed. He threw that season only 154 completions out of 255 attempts. For his yardage dropped 2,081 yards, and he had actually more games under 200 yards. He had 12 games this season where he threw for under 200 passing yards. But don't get me wrong, his touchdown to interception ratio was immaculate. He had 17 touchdowns to only 1 interception thrown. But we got to ask ourselves, is that because he was so limited passing because Saban didn't trust his arm? But then he also put up 154 rushing attempts that season in the 2017 season, where he rushed for 855 yards and 8 TDs. But we cannot forget, again, the 2018 national championship game, Jalen Hurts, down 13-0 to the Georgia Bulldogs, was benched at halftime. Benched. We have never probably seen that before, and I don't know if we would ever see that again, but leave it up to Nick Saban. He will definitely make that call. But it led me to looking at not only his numbers in college, but what has Jalen Hurts done since joining the Philadelphia Eagles passing the ball. And if we look at these stats and these career stats, they aren't the greatest. So the 2020 season with the Philadelphia Eagles, which would be Jalen Hurts' first season in Philly, he threw for only 1,061 yards total the entire season, 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He had a 77 passer rating. This, we all know that's dismal. Like, literally those numbers are terrible, but we give him a break. It's his rookie season in the NFL. He's getting acclimated into the NFL. Okay, he had a rough rookie season. His second year in the league, he had a 61% passer rating. Let's not forget it was a 52% completion percentage his first season. His second season, it went up to 61%. He raised his passing yards to 3,000, but he still only had a passer rating of 87% his second season. But each season since then, progressively, he's gotten better. 2022, he had a 66% completion rate with 3,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, a passer rating of 101.5. In 2023, he kind of dipped from that 2022 success. He only had a 65% completion rating. And then he only threw for 3,858 yards, which was more than the year before, which was most he's thrown for in his career in Philly altogether. He had 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 15. But this is the stat that had me looking like, he had an 89% QB rating. An 89 QB rating for the entire season of last year. So that should have gave some alarms to what was to come this year, which why I can see why A.J. Brown is possibly calling Jalen Hurts. And he may not even be calling Jalen Hurts, the coaching staff, whatever, the passing game out in general. In this season right now, currently, Jalen Hurts is sitting at a 68.3 completion percentage. He only has 2,000 yards, in which that's kind of 2,600, in which he's right now above what he would normally put up. So he's shooting for his season high right now. He has 16 TDs to 5 interceptions with a 102 QB rating. Like, it's not terrible. But when we take a look at this video that a Philadelphia Eagle fan made from this past game this weekend against the Panthers, at how many times A.J. Brown was open and Jalen Hurts did not pull the gun or didn't throw the ball to him, was alarming. And so I understand Philadelphia's frustration. Let's take a look at this video, guys.
Of course, A.J. Brown, the man in the pink cleats, is upset. If he wasn't upset, he wouldn't be human. I'm going to show you all about 6 plays. Right now, back foot. Jalen, you're looking at him. Get rid of the ball. He's open. He's going to come back to the ball. Get rid of the ball, Jalen. If A.J. Brown was not upset, he wouldn't freaking be human. The man in the pink cleats, people. If A.J. Brown, bottom of the screen, if he wasn't upset, y'all, I'm telling you, he wouldn't be human. It is human for him to be this open. He's open. Let it rip, Jalen. He's open. You're looking at him. The ball's cocked. Let it rip. If he wasn't upset, he wouldn't be human. Look at A.J. If A.J. wasn't upset, I'm telling y'all right now, as a human, it is only fair that A.J. be upset. Right now. Watch him. Man in the pink cleats. Let it rip. 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 The very next time, the Eagles run essentially this exact same play. The same play. Roughly the same play. In breaking route. This time, Jalen does let it rip. Completion. A.J. Brown. Break tackle. First down. If A.J. Brown was not upset, he wouldn't be human. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Of course he's upset. You would be upset. Man in the pink cleats. Top of the screen. Hey, it's one-on-one, Jalen. It's one-on-one. Post safety's not even leaning his way. You have A.J. Brown, a top 5 receiver in football, one-on-one, and the post safety is not even leaning his way. Give the man a shot. You know what they say in football. If he's even, he's leaving. If A.J. Brown was not upset, he would not be human. It is only human to be mad at this. Now, this is a touchdown play. Make no mistake about it. But why make it so difficult on yourself? Man-to-man coverage. Pick. A.J., if he wasn't upset, he wouldn't be human, y'all. I mean, dude's wide open. I get it. It's a touchdown. Shout out to the Eagles for winning the game always and forever. But why take the easy route? A.J. Brown, pink cleats. You can't even miss him. If he wasn't upset, family, he wouldn't freaking be human. You'd be mad too.
So, yeah, after seeing that, like the guy in the video says, I can see why A.J. Brown is mad. Like, there would be no reason why any starting wide receiver or number 1 wide receiver wouldn't be mad. Being open that many times and not receiving the ball, yes, you will have frustrations on the sideline. But it just led me to this conversation of, did we all forget that Jalen Hurts was benched in the 2018 National Championship due to his passing issues? Like, this isn't a surprise to me. When Jalen Hurts first got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, I questioned, was it going to work? How long would it last? So it utterly surprised me to see him have such success, not just running the ball, but actually passing. But then when you throw in that he had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, I was thinking, well, he has great receivers. So, hey, he is going to be able to be successful if they can, build a system around him and what his skill set is. And it seems like Philadelphia has definitely done that. But when we see the issues that are coming to light right now with them 11-2 in a season where they are in a push for the Super Bowl contenders, they are Super Bowl contenders. We have their star wide receiver is frustrated because of the passing game. That is a crazy thing to see and a crazy thing to hear in the middle of a season where you're 11-2 and things are going so well, to add fuel to a fire, to give the media something to talk about. For me to be even doing a video like this right now, to make me think, dang, are the Philadelphia Eagles or A.J. Brown, are people just forgetting that Jalen Hurts has always had these issues passing the ball his entire career in front of our faces? Since we've seen him at Alabama, he's been primarily a runner. So again, this is me just dropping my 2 cents in on it. It's a baffling situation what's going on in Philly right now, for them to be doing so good right now, to have this issue going on. I hope that they can work their ways through this, because this would be sad to see something like this ruffle their season. We have to think, last year they started out hot and then went 1-6 to end the season, and it had me thinking then, what's going on with Philly? Could this have been the issue last season, is carrying over to now? And the frustrations have just reached a head to where A.J. Brown felt like he had to say something to the media or in the media. It's crazy to think. But again, guys, this is some random sports dude just giving my 2 cents, adding my opinion in on the situation like I will always do as long as I have a microphone. But like I always ask, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and get down in the comment section. You let me know what you think. Do you think that, hey, I'm just tripping, Jalen Hurts is actually an okay passer and I'm just being too critical of his stats? Or do you think, hey, some random sports guy may be onto something? Jalen Hurts has had issues passing the ball since we've seen him in Alabama. He did get benched in the 2018 National Championship game due to his passing issues. We even heard Nick Saban say it. He tried to take light off of it being passing, but we know what the issue was. But get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. But until next time, guys, some random sports dude is signing out.